back! Hello there, friend. Welcome back to Max Plays Destiny Failsass. On the previous episode, we learned the basics of CQC, and we also discovered that Lily had an actual crush on Mr. Sly. It's not hard to believe, that man is pretty dreamy. Anyhow, near the end, we were introduced to a new character named Harley. What's up, my man? Yeah, that should be it. It was terrible for me because at the end of the previous episode, after I did the outro, I was practicing Harley's voice and I was like, yeah, this is exactly what it sounds like. He's the cool kid in school and he looks a little bit like this. Yeah, he's the cool kid in town. One-hit wonder boy started to walk down the hallway when I heard someone yell his name. I looked behind me to find a student, Harley Brisby, catching up to him. Hey, my meeting ran late. Oh, are you not working on that project for the student council? Wait a minute, are you telling me one-hit wonder boy's in the student council? Man, that dedication. Anyhow, no, today's not a really good day. I was going to head over to the arcade. This dongle. Oh, sweet, I'll come with you. The two of them talked as they left. Goodbye. I like the extra characters that have been introduced. Kind of like well, Alexander is right here. But I'm talking about like James' sister, and now One-Hit Wonder Boy and Harley. Pretty cool characters. Okay. Computer lab. Oh, like look at this computer's totally running Windows XP still. King's Cafe. Man, I don't know what I want to do. Which is the Alaska option? Computer lab? That's clearly Vincent. That's where he spends his time. What's the Alaska option? By the way, have I mentioned that I really like this graphic? It's pretty cool. It reminds me a little bit of Persona 4 the Golden. Alright. Art Club? Art Club is for losers. No, it's not. Art Club is pretty cool. Plaguesworth has got lots of stories about Art Club. You know what? Let's go to the cafe. Let's go get some coffee. It might not be a bad idea to stop by James' cafe before I head home. It's not James's cafe. It's James's parents' cafe. I pulled out the business card he gave me earlier and found the address. It was a little out of the way from my traditional trip home. Maybe we'll get to see, like, his sister. That's pretty cute. Okay, I'm loving the harp. I assume it's a harp because it's clearly not an ukulele. I finally found the cafe, hidden in between buildings that towered over it. It was a cozy little place with flower beds and bushes surrounding the outside seating. Hello, my name is James. I walked in and looked around, noticing James immediately as he served a young couple at the other side of the room. When he turned around, his eyes lit up for a short moment and he rushed over to me. Oh, I didn't want that. That's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Okay, welcome back to Max is gonna make every choice possible to push James away. I've got nothing against James. I'm not interested in a romantic route with the guy. Hey, you came by. Yeah, I figured I should check it out while I was on my way home. If I was a really perverse person, it would be like, it's like, on your way home, this is actually really way off from your way from home. I mean, it's not like I know where you live or anything. That would be really creepy. Thankfully, that wasn't part of this game, and it's just part of my really perverse imagination. Will, do you have time to sit down for a cup of coffee? Cup of joe, as they say? Do you have hot chocolate instead? What the hell does the sign on the door say? Does it say King's Hot Chocolate Emporium? Of course. What kind of cafe would we be if we didn't have an amazing hot cocoa? I'll make one for you right now. Walks away from the people who he was still taking their order for. He directed me to a small booth by the window. After a few minutes, I looked up to find James standing above me with 2 cups. He handed one to me and sat down across the booth. Hey. This is not a date. That fit. Oh, oh, look at that gore. Oh, look at that really dumb face. Just him going.
Hot cocoa's under too good to pass up.
He smiled and sipped on his drink. I am not distracting you from work, am I?
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm taking my break.
Really, a really opportune time for you to take your break, James. Okay, I'm good. I lifted the cup up to my lips and took a big sip. In one quick motion, I put the cup down and clenched my chest as the burning hot liquid flowed through me. Dear goodness, that's... I can't... it hurts. Okay, I was wondering why, and he had this look on his face, and immediately my thought was like, did you put something in the drink? You filthy James. Now, he's just like, I'm so used to it, I'll just drink it hot.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to warn you. I guess I'm used to warm drinks.
That's fine. I'll just let it sit for a moment. I sat there awkwardly. We weren't saying much to each other. As I stared at the hot chocolate, I rested my head in my hand and looked out the window. So, how's the cafe going? Does it get busy a lot?
Well, it does pretty well. We get quite a rush for a brunch, and again in the evenings when people go out for dinner or dessert.
So, I'm catching you guys before you get busy, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
I looked back towards James. He was stirring his drink with a fork, not paying attention. The bruise! Also, I don't know if this is relevant to the story, but I love the fact that he's staring it with the fork. James. Do you have a thing for forks? I relaxed my hand and picked up the very warm mug.
Hey, Idril. Is that a bruise in your face?
What? My hand had wiped off the makeup that Lily had helped me with earlier. Surprised and embarrassed, I hastily lifted my hand from his, accidentally knocking my hot chocolate over. Maybe I'm drunk, but didn't this happen like a different day? Didn't this happen like yesterday? Like Lily helped me with the makeup earlier? Maybe when I was given the chance to go out for the first day, this is the first event that triggers with James, maybe? Maybe. I think there's a pretty easy way to make that a little bit more ambiguous, but yeah. Surprised and embarrassed, I hastily lifted my hand from his, accidentally knocking my hot chocolate over. Oh, that's a problem. Ah! Is that a fork in his hand again? Showed your klutzy side. That's a thing. My hot chocolate spilled right onto James' lap. I can just stare at this for hours. Welcome back to 10 hours of James just like slowly coming up to like an explosion, just implodes. I guess that's actually the opposite of exploding, but you get what I'm saying. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I grabbed a handful of napkins from the table and jumped up to help. James grabbed them from my hand and started wiping his pants. For a second I was like, Idril, please don't do the thing that everyone does in romantic comedies. It was an accident. I didn't mean to. You totally meant to do it.
It's fine.
His words were said behind clenched teeth, as he mumbled about how it's his fault that he had given me such a scalding drink in the first place.
Excuse me for a second. I need to check if there's a change of clothes in the back.
Oh, okay. Leaves.
Yeah, so she came in, poured hot drinks on my pants, and just left.
As he left, my attention went back to what he had... My attention went back to what had caught me so off guard in the first place. I pulled out a little mirror from my bag and quickly reapplied the makeup Lily had given me. Note to self, avoid touching my face.
So, there were no clean pants, and I might have to do my night shift wearing chocolate, but we're good now.
He chuckled as he sat down across from me again. James, I feel so bad. I
understand. It was an accident, I know. I was there. Plus, it's not the first time you've dragged me into your klutzy misadventures. It's time for a flashback!
Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I remember that time I fell down that hill and pulled you down with me?
Yeah, of course. I have the scar on my knee to remind me of that. What about the time you couldn't reach the camera on the high shelf? And when you jumped up, it fell on your face.
Is this scar from one of those moments? Oh yeah, that really hurt.
I bet it was another one of your clumsy moments that gave you that bruise.
I wonder if he's trying to cover up, or if it's just like, I know better than you. Look how much I know you. I know you so well. It's totally not creepy at all. Well, you could say that. It's not entirely true, but it's also not entirely a lie. I really didn't want to tell him that it was from my mom. There was an awkward silence between the two of us. I glanced over at James. He looked distant, like he knew what he wanted to say, but didn't know how to say it.
Look, I know I already apologized earlier, but I am really sorry about what happened the other day at lunch. It really flew off my hands. It really flew up the handle. I hope Vincent didn't get any more upset with me, even though I kinda, stabbed him with, well...
He still got it in his hands.
I didn't know what I would do if Vincent hated me for what happened.
Yeah, because you love him.
I guess I would feel like even more of a prick for what I did. It feels like Vincent and I have been friends forever. I mean, the three of us used to play together in the park during the summer back when we were... What, like 6 years old? I know, I'm rambling, but I'm just such an idiot for what I did. I guess what I'm trying to say is, could you maybe talk to him for me?
You know, you got his phone number. You play Hordes of Heroes with him.
I don't need to be the middleman.
Middle woman. Middle non-binary person. I think it's better if you brought this up to him.
I guess. It would probably mean more coming from me.
James' eyes met with me. He smiled. We lost track of the time. Eventually, James glanced over to the clock above the counter.
Oh, crap! I needed to get back to work 20 minutes ago.
Oh no, I'm late too. I should have been home a while back. Oh, and your mom is home and your dad is not.
Okay, well, I'll see you later. Feel free to swing by again.
He ran behind the counter and I waved goodbye. I left the cafe and quickly made my way back home, maneuvering through the crowds on the street. Oh, he's still home. When I got home, I noticed Dad sitting on the couch watching the news, and I could smell dinner cooking in the kitchen. Hey, I'm home.
Hey, Shortcake. Have a good day at school.
I sat down next to Dad on the couch and watched the news. Yeah, there wasn't anything out of the ordinary today. I hope you're hungry. I'm just done. I hope you're hungry. I'm just about done with cooking. Definitely. Mom didn't say much until she was done. She called us over to grab our plates, and then she sat down on the couch next to Dad. Should I... ... Eat with my parents. Eat in my room. It's been like, what, 2 days since the thing that happened? Probably 3 days. Actually, 3 days and a weekend. I think we should probably eat with our parents. After all, she did make you the food. I decided to eat dinner in the living room with Mom and Dad. Dad turned on a sitcom while we ate. When we were finished, I took the plates and rinsed them in the kitchen. Wow, the room is really dark. It was getting late. I decided to head to bed. Thursday, January the 31st. And we're back. I rolled out of bed to the sound of Mom pulling out of the driveway. After I got dressed, I walked down to the kitchen and met Dad for breakfast. He put a plate down to the coffee table for me as he watched the morning news. I hate to be nitpicky, but does breakfast need to be capitalized? I don't know. That's the copy editor inside of me, I apologize.
It looks like it'll be snowing quite a bit this weekend.
It doesn't matter. I'll be at home doing homework anyway.
I know being grounded sucks, Cupcake, but as soon as you get your grades up, you'll be out and about with your friends again. How's it going with your grades anyway?
It's going well. I've been working on it and I have finished a few assignments. Ooh, I wonder if that's like part of her like personal quest. Like you don't get to do anything on the weekends until you get your grade up, and once you do, you get like 2 extra days for doing like relationship stuff. Or maybe it's all just plot related.
See, that's not too bad. If you keep that up, you'll be caught up in no time.
I finished my breakfast and got up to put the plate away. The news started doing a feel-good story at the local arcade when Dad turned off the television. Wait, turn that back on.
Oh, sure.
Beep, 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 beep. The screen flashed back on, and as I watched, I noticed One Hit Wonder Boy from the student council in the background. How did you get into the student council? The camera panned over the arcade cabinets as the reporter told a story about how 2 local boys helped an older man stay in business by raising money through small community events. You are the fools with the hearts of gold. That's what it is, isn't it? I guess you could say that these 2 boys gave this man a 1-up to continue at the game over screen. I have no idea what video games are. It's that Donkey Kong stuff, isn't it? That Danky Kang. I love it when people who don't know video games talk about video games. A 1-up? Oh god. I couldn't help but smile at the cheesy pun she ended the report with. I guess that must be the arcade that One Hit Wonder Boy and Harley were talking about yesterday.
Oh, alright, are we done here? Go grab your backpack, I'll drive you to school.
Yeah, that sounds good. How nice of you. I ran to my room to grab my backpack and met Dad out in the car. Downtown. Downtown, that's your home address. You live downtown, where your life's a mess. You go downtown. I'm sorry, I love Little Shop of Horrors. Fun fact, when I was in high school, and I was part of the video production class, I guess, or course, and I had to record the school's production of Little Shop of Horrors. I still have the DVD. It was pretty good. I had to edit the whole thing. Like 3 weeks of editing Little Shop of Horrors. And because we had like multiple cameras, so I had to like switch angles to make sure that everything looked good. And I still remember to this day that there was a delay on the 3rd point of view, so I only used it for points in which the audio sync didn't matter. But yeah, I basically memorized every song, and I love the opening song for Downtown. Anyhow. Dad turned the radio on as we drove to Moirai High School. He hummed along to the music as I stared out the window.
And we are never, ever getting back together.
Snow was starting to pile up all over town. Oh, come on. William would totally be into, like, pop music.
My poker face, my mama poker face.
What's another one?
'Cause we will never be royals.
Anyhow, he pulled right up to the center and dropped me off. He waved goodbye, and I walked inside. The hallways were filled with chatter. Everyone was in their own little groups, strewn throughout the halls. I overheard a couple students asking if they were planning on going to the Valentine's dance, and I realized that was why everyone seemed so excited. Ooh, that's actually the ending point for this act, I believe. Also, I like that was just introduced and we didn't have to spend like a long while explaining it. It's just leaving it there. Kind of like with The Missing Girl. It's just like, here it is. And then just slide over the table. Hey, there's something else you should keep in mind. The Valentine's Day dance. The geometry classroom was almost empty. Most of the students were still talking in the halls. I sat down next to Lily, who was laying her head down on her desk.
picking up the pieces of her broken heart. Lily, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Now I know what Mr. Burton feels like every day. Okay. I pulled my geometry homework out and checked my answers. However, my concentration was interrupted by Lily, sitting up straight and leaning over to my desk. You got that one wrong. Wait, you got that one wrong. More airy. Lily. I drill. Atali. Alaska. She smiled and quickly told me the correct answer before leaning back in her chair. She kept pulling her phone out to check her messages as she gave me a fast explanation of the correct way to solve it. New messages? No new messages. Thanks, Lily. Are you sure you're okay? Yes. That's the face that says no. Okay. Well, did you want me to still help you with that student council thing after school? Actually, could you come by during lunch instead? I won't be staying after school today. I can't bear looking at him anymore. That is so dark. That is just so dark. Yeah, that sounds fine. I don't mind. Cool. I'll walk with you after class. Guys, I can totally read. Cool. I'll walk with you after class gets over. Is over?
The bell rang and students sat down into their seats. Mrs. Harrison walked up to the board and started writing down page numbers.
The room instantly cut to silence as we waited for Mrs. Harrison's lesson to begin. Normally, with other teachers, students would talk until the lesson actually began. But it was different with Mrs. Harrison. Everyone hated her. Mrs. Harrison hated it when students talked in between the time the bell rang and her lesson began. She would make you stay 10 extra minutes after class, forcing you to miss the beginning of lunch. That's cruel. During those 10 minutes, if you talked at all, she'd give you the tension. The other terrible thing was, if you got to lunch late, all of the good food was usually gone by then. Because Alaska took it all. Miss Harrison turned around, pleased at the silence surrounding her. She went to her desk to pick up a vividly pink stack of papers, handing them around the classroom. Oh my god, super bitter. My name is Mrs. Harrison. I'm sure by now you've all heard of Valentine's Day dance, that thing that's coming up, right? Lily handed the stack to me and I took one and passed it on. Mrs. Harrison read the pink flyer around, explaining that it would take place on Thursday night, February the 14th. We would have no school the following Friday since teachers had a curriculum day to catch up on needed work. Mrs. Harrison, you can buy tickets in the lunchroom starting Monday of next week. Anyway, now that we have gone over that nonsense, let's get started. Math is life. Mrs. Harrison walked to her desk, grabbing her lesson plan and tossing the flyer into the trash can. Harsh. After we turned in our assignments from the previous night, she began teaching the next chapter. And after she finished, Lily leaned over and told me in terms that I could understand. I wonder if you get Idril's academics high enough, she actually understands this on her own. I'm sorry. I just have trouble wrapping my head around this when she's up there. You know what? That's entirely true. Like, I've had terrible math teachers, especially in college. It's great when you pay to go to college and then you get terrible teachers that just make the subject not fun at all. I had this terrible teacher in college, actually. And the time's about, it's almost up, so I'm telling you this story. He was this terrible math teacher. I forget his name because I just erased his existence from the entirety of my mental brain, as opposed to my physical brain, I guess. And he would just have his back to the class for 2.5 hours just writing. And it's like, you do this, and then you do that, and then you do this, and then you do that. Never talked to the class, never had had a time for questions, nothing. This guy was so unpassionate about his work because he was a 10-year. 10-year teachers are like that. And it was just the most dreadful thing ever. And I've never fallen asleep in my class. Up until that point, I had never fallen asleep in a class ever because I took pride in, you know, education because I came from a background of poverty. That was the first time in my life where I fell asleep in a class because I was like, this is so boring. I can't pay attention because it's just so boring. Also, I counted all the tiles on the ceiling. I did that. There was like 500 tiles on the ceiling. Like 530 something? I forget. It's no problem. Well, let's just say you're not the only one who has issues with understanding her lessons. Lily glanced around the classroom, signaling multiple students struggling. I guess you're right. Thanks, Lily. And with that, we'll call an episode right here. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I'll be seeing you on the next episode.